G'day everyone, Matt Thompson with you, continuing our 2013 Footy Focus. Today we are taking a look at the players who you should keep your eye on this season, the guys with a big year ahead, the guys who will step up their performances from previous seasons. Once again, Gary Lyon is with us for our Footy Focus preview. G'day Gaz.
G'day Matty, how are you mate?
Going well. Let's start by talking about this man, Jared Roughead from the Hawks.
I love him for lots of reasons, Jared Roughead, and so much is said about Buddy Franklin. I think this guy's still untapped. He has had Achilles tendon problems, but I think his athleticism is as good as anyone in the AFL in terms of 6 foot plus. I think he's got a trick bag that we haven't really seen fully developed, and he's probably the most versatile big man in the game. I mean, he can genuinely play back. I think he'd be an All-Australian.
He's been playing back in the NAB Cup.
Yep, we've seen his ruck work. I think he's better at that than we probably give him credit for, but he's kicked 60-plus goals as a key forward. And look, I think he's set to explode. He's had a big pre-season. He looks to me like he's slimmed down a little bit and just loves the work. So I think a big year ahead for Ruffy. To
the D's, James Frawley, All-Australian back in 2010. You've had really good reports from the club.
I have. Look, I'm a massive fan of James's. I was disappointed with his year, but I've since learnt that he carried 3 big injuries throughout the course of the season, refused to go and have them operated on, wanted to stay out on the field because of the parlous state that Melbourne were in. Look, you talk about athleticism. I mean, his ability to run and carry the footy is second to none. You need someone capable of playing on the big monsters each week, and James Frawley's that man. He's strong, powerful. I'm not sure I want him kicking the footy too often out of the back half, but I think he's set for a really big year, James Frawley, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if at the end of the year we're looking at All-Australian honours for him again, and God knows Melbourne needs someone of that ilk.
3 different injuries, that says a lot about a bloke.
Yeah, big injuries too, I'm told, and tough to be able to work his way through it, so good sign.
All right, let's talk about Jack Riewoldt now. Won the Coleman, but still cops a bit of rubbish from different people.
Yeah, strange to say he's one we want to keep an eye on, but we do, because we think he's capable of kicking 100 goals in a year, and God, wouldn't that be great to see the Tiger Army get behind him. So I think his main priority is kicking goals. We've seen him be very unselfish over the journey. Just kick the goals, Jack, and if you have to go for one that perhaps people aren't all that happy about, just wear that as a badge of honour for a full forward.
Out west to the Eagles, Mark Lacroix, we've seen really good signs from him in the NAB Cup after he missed last season.
Yeah, and I think understated his absence from this West Coast side last year. I mean, it wasn't great to see him against Collingwood kick 4 goals. This is one of the classiest, silkiest small forwards. He's a small to medium forward in the competition. What I love about him is he takes his opportunities when they present themselves. And when you've got Kennedy and you've got the big boy whose name escapes me at the moment, Jack Darling, there you go, yeah. And all those guys playing, you just need to compliment him, and this guy is a wonderful player, so great to have him back.
All right, let's talk about the Magpies now, and in particular Dane Swan. You expecting a big year from him?
I've tipped him to win the Brownlow medal. I think he's got that look about him. I think he runs to the beat of his own drum, of course, but a poor year, came third in the Copeland Trophy to his other 3 Copelands that he's already won in a Brownlow medal. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a bad or a poor, supposedly poor form. He slimmed down a little bit. To me, looks a bit hungrier. I know he's been in the news in recent times, but I think he's set for another really big year, Dane Swan. I love watching him play.
He's on the record as saying his life is not all about footy. Is that acceptable?
Of course, yeah. I mean, we can't all be Nathan Buckley clones, if you like, that just live, eat, breathe and sleep it. And look, if you tried to take his outside stuff away from him, then I think his form would suffer. So I like the individuals in the game, and he's the biggest one.
To the Bombers now, Jake Carlisle, the Dustin Fletcher understudy.
Yeah, it surprised me the way he played against Jack Riewoldt in the NAB Cup this year, and I spoke to Jack about it recently and said he was outstanding, prepared to take front position. Dustin's not going to be around forever, probably another 10 years for Dusty, but Jake Carlisle, if he can play key back, then that's going to help Essendon enormously. I like the look of him.
To Port Adelaide, John Butcher, some describe him as unorthodox. Not a great year last year.
Injury again for this young man, Johnny Butcher. Look, he was one of the elite under-18 key forwards and was always going to take some time. Big forwards do. His kicking's ungainly and unorthodox. He's got the mop of hair. But look, Port Adelaide are desperate for someone to hang their hat on. I think their midfield with Hartlett and Boak and Ebert is going to give this guy plenty of opportunity. So if he can stay in the park, could be a surprise packet. He went through a period there, Matty, where he was almost unstoppable as a key forward. So I'm really interested to see that he's got his body right, and if so, then he could be 50 goal a year.
All right, we are almost out of time, Gaz. So what we might do is just have a very quick look at some of the other players from other clubs that you reckon we should keep our eye on this
season. Spoke about Rowe. We just want him to compete. Brad Crouch actually coached, had a year off on the Adelaide list. Super talent. Varco, quality back into Geelong. We love watching Hayden Ballantyne for lots of different reasons. Pierce Hanley could be better than Ty Kennelly. That's how highly I rate him. Curtly Hampton, I've seen him again at close quarters. If he can ever get his head around the fact that how good he is, could be anything. They love Aaron Black down at North Melbourne. I love Dale Morris coming back from a broken leg. Hopefully he gets a full season. Tom Hickey, got some talent, big ruckman, good backup. Harley Bennell could be the most exciting player in the competition in a couple of years' time. And Tom Mitchell, son of Barry, haven't seen him much. Scary for all of us to see a young kid of that quality introduced into a premiership winning midfield.
All right, Gary, thank you very much for that. Keep clicking back to AFL.com today, of course, for the very latest footy news. And our next 2013 Footy Focus, it's the players under the pump facing make or break seasons who Gary will focus on next. Until then, it's goodbye.